All right, you thought it was a Freaky Friday, and it was a Freaky Friday, and it just got freakier when my good buddy Scott Lobaido is in the house. Hello, buddy. How are you? Thank you for joining us. There's so much to talk about, okay? And we're going to get into your future plans and all this other stuff a little later on. But I wanted to have you on today because you have been like literally in the trenches of trying to drum up support and enthusiasm, not only for the police department, but for Donald Trump. And you've been doing these rallies, and you've been in front of Trump Tower, and you've been riding around Staten Island, you're riding up to Albany, you're riding out to the Hamptons, all this stuff. And Scott, me personally, I'm seeing an enthusiasm in New York that I haven't seen in my life.
John, it's unbelievable. I mean, we just had this conversation earlier. I'm telling you, we have a chance to turn this state red. There really is a chance to turn this state red. And if it doesn't turn red, it's going to be the closest in history. Because I'm at these rallies all over New York City, New York State, and the people are out in force. That rally we had last Sunday when Antifa wound up coming to break our chops, we had transgenders for Trump. We had gays for Trump, Jews for Trump, blacks for Trump, Mexicans for Trump. It was New York. It was this melting pot that you would never see. You know, the media shows just a bunch of white people at these rallies. They don't want to show you how, you know, the eccentricity of this city and this state are coming out in force. I'm telling you, this is historical, and I'm so psyched. I'm so psyched about this.
I've been focusing in on the show to this constituency of, you know, African-American men, and we see like guys coming out of the hip-hop community that would never be for a Republican candidate. You know, you had Ice Cube. He said, hey, look, I reached out to both parties. Biden told me we'll talk to you later after the election. Trump said, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, I'm willing to work with anybody. And then all of a sudden 50 Cent saw Joe Biden's tax plan, and now you got another guy out of the rap community. Yesterday, Lil Wayne, another, you know, these are all, Lil Wayne came out. Yes, look.
Yeah.
We got put it back up. We got the Mount Rushmore of rap. that's the Donald Trump's Mount Rushmore. When you're at these rallies, I feel like I'm seeing more and more African American folks and minorities who are saying, "Hey, you know what? Hey, the proof's in the pudding. The guy was doing good for us."
It's that simple. It makes me crazy that, you know, we got a lot of black friends in Staten Island, and everybody thinks this is just white. No, this is a very eccentric, you know, multicultural community. And what bothers me is that they don't see the big picture. Okay, it's very obvious. You're in the same bracket. You know, you look in this, you know, the poor sections, the projects as we have here, and there's generations that live there. And why? Because the Democratic Party says, stay home, we'll take care of you. There's no incentive. There's nothing sexy and more important than a human being to have incentive. Whether you want to open up a hot dog stand or you want to be the next astronaut. This is what the Republicans say. Yes, you need help, we're here to help you. But that's it, you got a year or so, and then we want you to have your own life. There's nothing sexier than that. And I finally see, like you said, I do see the black community smartening up to that. For generations, 40, 60 years, they're under Democratic control, and they're sitting in the same pot. And just give Donald Trump just give him a chance for 4 years. If it doesn't work out, you go back.
Well, I mean, one of his closing arguments last time in 2016 to the minority communities was, what do you have to lose, right? You've been stuck in this same cycle of the Democrats. You know, long before there was Black Lives Matter, there was Black Votes Matter. And that's all that matters to the Democratic Party, is to come to the inner city once every 4 years and tell them how much you're going to do for them, guarantee them your votes. And truthfully, you know, I think Joe Biden, in one of his biggest gaffes of this whole campaign, when he said, if you're thinking about voting for Trump, you ain't black, right? Yeah. And he kind of brushed, you know, pun intended, to a great artist like you, but he used a broad brush to stroke the whole community as, if you're not voting for me, you aren't what you were born as, black.
Yes, and it goes back to also, I think they're opening up to realize that us Republicans are not what the media and the Democrats label us as, these, you know, racist, non-compassionate people about, you know, we are the most compassionate people. I am one of the most compassionate Republicans. You know, I give my money, all my money I've made, I've given it away, you know, and that's what they have to understand, is that we are compassionate. We want you to live your life as an American. It's that simple. It's so beautiful to have a dream. And the Democrats just say, stay home, here's your money, stay home. No incentive. You need incentive in your life. It's the sexiest thing in the world, to get your hands dirty and bring home something that you created.
So let me ask you, Many people are asking me to explain the whole electoral college thing. It's a little tricky, but most people don't realize that you're not voting for a president. You're voting for an elector who will go to the electoral college and vote for the president that the majority of the people have voted for. On the electoral college, give me your prediction on what you think. 270 to win. What do you think the final numbers will be?
I'm going to say 350. Trump 350, 360.
Scott Lobaido's got Trump at 350, 360. We're gonna go with 360 because you can't. We're gonna play a little game with our guests next week that you can't go over. I'm gonna put you on. Now I'm gonna rattle off 5 key states, and you tell me who you think wins. Arizona.
Yes.
You think Trump? Arizona.
Trump. Yes.
Pennsylvania.
Trump.
Trump again. Minnesota. Amy Klobuchar. Okay, let's give that to Biden.
Let's give that to Biden.
Wisconsin.
I'm going to give that to Biden.
You're going to give that to Biden. Gretchen Whitmer, governor of Michigan, has come under heavy attack. She almost got kidnapped. She's had the state locked down terribly.
She's a cute girl, but she's out of a bleeping gourd.
Okay, so you're giving Michigan to Trump.
Yeah.
So the Scott Lobaido prediction, Donald Trump, 360 electoral college votes. Michigan to Trump, Wisconsin to Biden, Minnesota to Biden, Pennsylvania to Trump, Arizona to Trump. Now, if you're right, Michigan, Minnesota, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Arizona,
how much do I
Trump wins. No, Trump wins. Those 3 states.
Yeah.
If he holds the 2016 map, locks in Penn again, gets Michigan and Arizona, it's game over.
Yeah. Can I make a prediction about that day?
Of course.
Just the day, the whole day. Tuesday, election day. Here's my prediction. Donald Trump wins the election. Okay? The left, the radical left, they go berserk. They lose their mind. They start running out, burning down cities in your communities. And then, take it easy. A couple of days after that, we send in the National Guard. They clean that up. They go home, they get jobs, they partake in society. Okay, 6 months later, I mean, if Biden wins, I mean Kamala Harris, if Kamala Harris wins, because Joe Biden's out in 6 months, because that was the plan, and then they hand it to her. She injects her socialist agenda. The country goes berserk. Then the shit hits the fan. That's my prediction.
Okay. Well, you did good. I mean, usually when you come on, it's in the first couple of minutes that you use some kind of profanity that we shouldn't be using on TV. So you held it almost to the end.
Sorry. Well, you can't say anything else when you say it hits the fan.
No, well, yeah. Well, look, I don't disagree with you. Look, we're in a place right now where they're actually executing a plan with the hope that they win. It's to unemploy people. It's to keep them in their houses and put them on the government nipple. That's what they want. And I'm with you. Once it's over, there's going to be these uprisings, there's going to be breaking windows and looting and everything else. But now Trump is going to be unshackled because he doesn't have to run again. And now he's going to send in the National Guard, and they're going to start splitting heads on these little liberal pansies.
The violent ones, not the protesters.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But I'm saying you got some of these kids, and I'm seeing in a lot of places, it's white kids with masks over their face who are, they're tough in a crowd. We all knew kids like this when we were younger, right?
They're tough guys the Black Lives Movement.
When they're in a crowd, they're tough.
Yep.
But now, and the cops are standing back and protecting their face, and they have stand-down orders from their police commissioners.
That's over.
Now we're going to send in people with the billy clubs and say, okay, boys, let's clean up the streets. And there's nothing they can do about it.
I spent a weekend in central booking. These kids need to spend an hour in central booking. No in and out of bail, get desk appearance. You do something violently towards the community or a person, you get punished. That's what needs to happen to these kids. They need to get in the ugly system instead of just in and out. Here you go out and do it again.
Talk about, remember when we were younger, that movie Scared Straight?
Oh,
remember
God,
when they
a TV
showed
show.
you? Yeah, I'm saying when they showed you inside the
Scared
jail.
the crap out of you.
Scared the crap out of us.
It was the greatest show in the
maybe
world.
they got to lock some of these kids up and throw them in the MCC for the weekend, and then they'll run home and tell all their friends, we don't want to do that anymore.
It's just that simple.
Buddy, thank you. I want to have you back after the election, talk
Yes.
about your future plans. I
Yes.
know there are big
Yes.
plans at hand. I know
Yes.
you're a big supporter of Nicole Malliotakis.
Yes. This
She
whole
is on the
weekend.
ballot. I've been encouraging everybody. I've been encouraging everybody to get somebody else to go with them to the polls and vote, because not only do we need Trump in,
We need the
him to have a
seats.
Congress that supports him and his policies. And I know Nicole's going to do that. And that Max Rose has been voting with Nancy Pelosi 97% of the
Yes,
time.
that's why she's giving them crap loads of money.
That's
So I
right.
stopped
And
myself there.
just to go back to what you said before, if it turns out that the socialist wins and I have to look for a job, I would be more interested in the hot dog cart than being an astronaut, me personally.
Yeah, that
you
makes
know, I'm
sense.
like a street vendor.
Yeah,
you know.
you would be good at it. You'd be good at it. But
that-
that'll never happen.
and
because
if I'm
this
going
country
to
will
enter
never
my
let
hot dog cart in a NASCAR race, I'm going to get you to paint it.
I'll paint it up.
Scott Lobaido, conservative artist, great friend of mine, great friend of the show, doing everything he can to spread the word of freedom and liberty all around the country. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.